Hey, Cumsluts. So, about 3 years ago, over 3 years ago, I saw the episode of Comedians in Cars. No, I had an idea. I remembered the video. I think it was Colleen and Miranda did a video together. So I remembered this video and I wanted to watch it. Or maybe it was just I just remembered Miranda sings for some reason. So I watched a couple videos, a couple Miranda videos. Um and or yeah, or like Psycho Soprano. I don't remember. One or two videos, nothing really. Then just a few days later, I actually I think around that time started watching Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee again, and it was the episode where he had Miranda on. So then I went back, and then I found Rachel Ballinger for the first time ever, and I just started watching Rachel Ballinger, and this was the first time that I really started watching a YouTuber. I used to watch The Needle Drop like back in '09, um, but that was different because it was like he was reviewing music. He has a very specific kind of channel. At the time, there was actually a couple other guys doing it too. Um, but so Rachel, like, this video is gonna be dedicated to her, or this part of the video at least. Um, and she she'll say like she's the first like YouTuber that I watched, and she's like such a perfect example also for like what what is so great about YouTube and what makes YouTube different from, let's say, television. Is that so the reason that Rachel has a channel is because her sister got got big on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's like it's it's I don't even know what the analogy is to this, because traditionally it's like you would be an actor in a movie, and then people pay to see the movie to see the actor, or they watch the show to see the actor in the show. But this is totally different. This is like, and then I guess the sort of the analogy is like there's maybe some interest in like a tabloid of like the family of a celebrity or something like this. Like you might hear about like, who's like well, no, his kids are famous now, but like some celebrities' children. You might hear something about them because they're the children of celebrities. Which is sort of like this, but really not, because she's making her own content. It's like you're watching a video, but Rachel's personality is just so perfect for like this, because she is like, she'll say like she is not a creative person. You know, it's like she is not. It's so difficult to describe it. I mean, Andrew Hales has a great video on this, but it's like it's but it goes even more than that, because what he talks about is it's about developing a relationship with the person, and I'm not ready to discount that entirely. I still think that that's a really, you know, it's a good basic way of putting it, is that it's not about being entertained, it's about connection. That's that's I just I used to go with that as the way that I would describe it, but right now there's something else there. Um, I can't quite put my finger on. It's like you see a person go through their day and kind of like I've been watching a lot of Aziland. This is sort of a tangent, but I've been watching Aziland a lot. And her channel, she's she makes content that's a lot like Onision, in that it's just like reacting to like image-based stuff from the internet. Um, but with her reactions, what she does is she says like exactly what's there. It's like she doesn't editorialize on it. It's like she explains it to you like as though you were like severely retarded, and like just like thinks for you, you know? It's like when Slavoj talks about canned laughter. It's like she just says what you see there. And that's what her content is, you know? And she's great at editing. She's very attractive, you know, and her voice is really nice. It's like very pleasant to watch these videos, but there's nothing there. I mean, it's the images that are there, but like, I don't know how I was going to relate that back to Rachel Ballinger. What was the point of that? I just wanted to talk about Aziland, I think. Um, well, it's that there's nothing, there's no. It goes so deep because it's like, you know, relatability is a way of putting it, but it's more than that. It's like it's about not being bombarded, you know, and I think that like when people are on YouNow is like, okay, I need to talk about YouNow because that is the missing link here. So it's about levels of abstraction between like being alone doing nothing and sort of being at a Broadway show or something like this, you know, being in an IMAX, like being in you know, this very obscured, like abstracted form of entertainment. I don't know what the extreme is, but that basically the progression is like you can be alone, you can be with another person, you can be like talking with another person. And in this case, like, you know, if you're in a conversation with someone, let's really break it down. If you're in a conversation with someone, there is an opportunity there to escape from yourself. So some people, when they're talking with someone, they're still filled with all of their own shit. You know? They're still in the like alone mindset. But then, you know, and that's not a bad thing. I sort of frame that negatively, but I think that that's actually good if you're able to be with someone and still be like you. But there's a chance for sort of escaping, and there's a chance to kind of like get lost in that and kind of forget, you know? And then the next step, sort of the same step, is to be like on a telephone conversation. And so if you're like talking to someone on the phone, it's, you know, it's kind of obscured, but it's kind of natural. And YouNow is essentially like a Skype call, you know? It's like, it's a one-way Skype call. And, you know, in some cases you can, you know, even cam up and interact with them. And then, you know, maybe you're talking to someone, maybe they're never getting to your question. And at that point, you're watching the person, but it's as if you're, you know, it's much more like a telephone conversation where they can't hear you than it is like a movie, you know, just to see a person talk on YouNow. It's not supposed to be the fucking, Inception, watching a person on YouNow. And then sometimes, people will like rip and post the YouNows on YouTube, so you can watch it played back, or you watch a Twitch broadcast. Twitch is like the same thing. You watch this played back. And I mean, I guess vlog content is sort of different from this, but I feel like that's like the genesis. That's the evolution that gets you then to a Rachel Ballinger, who's supposed to be a person showing you what she's doing in her life. It's like you're having a phone conversation with someone. It's like a one-way phone conversation, So it it's about like an honest portrayal of life, Like it's about like yeah, it's so tough to talk about. Like I feel like I'm almost there, but um I don't really know. Because it's not like we look at YouTubers as celebrities so much. I mean, it's like the point is the opposite of that. I mean, it's like I don't really know. Like it's something I've thought about a lot, and I felt like I kind of had a grasp on, but now I feel like it's kind of escaping me. Because I think on one level it really makes no sense why you would spend time watching YouTube. And I feel that way, like if I don't watch YouTube for a while and then I just start watching like a Mario Maker stream, I'm thinking like, why the fuck do I do this? Like this is such a waste of time. Like so that's I mean it's really yeah, I mean like maybe it's about like conditioning your mind to like want boring videos just because you're used to it or something. Like it's just familiar, and you can waste a ton of time doing it and not have to like uh face your own life for that period of time. I don't know, there's something scary about it. There's something really like it's almost like when someone is like displaying like the real world to you, it's like this is but it's in a video. That's like the sort of epitome of escaping, because if you're watching something that's supposed to be like a fantasy, there's still an understanding of, fantasy in real life. I feel like another YouTuber I'm really enjoying is Barbarian. And the first time that I watched him, I really I really hated him for the whole episode, because he was shitting all over Mario Maker, and I was so pissed at him because like Mario Maker's amazing. But then after that, I loved him, and I started watching him all the time. It was exactly the same thing with Dirty Projectors, and sort of with Animal Collective, but not as extreme. With Dirty Projectors, I fucking hated them for like months, and then they became my favorite band. Um, yeah. I guess I wish the vlogs mattered, you know, because I watch them a lot. I don't think there's anything really that interesting about, like, this pop culture stuff with, like, the levels of abstraction and all that stuff I was talking about. That's all pretty boring. It's like not it's not like bad or like true or not true. It's just like it's not like I don't know. Like you know, I feel like it's sort of an ironic thing to like get excited about like celebrities and connecting celebrities and like who is in a relationship with who, and you know it's like we're all just people. And I guess I feel like Rachel just like has like a a good attitude and like is really nice. I mean, she's really able to like balance Colleen, I feel like, or like Rachel's just such a like zen master with Colleen, and like uh yeah, I mean, she's her sister, so it's like they're gonna obviously have a different relationship. So, and it's just, it's nice seeing someone that just kind of like respects other people and kind of like, isn't so egotistical. I mean, that's I guess what is so interesting about her is that like, you know, it's like her YouTube channel, but it's like she's not a she's not an egotistical person, which is so unusual for someone that, is a creator. So it's fun to watch her videos. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is about like seeing people's personalities. That's really what it is. You know? Which is just a different thing from entertainment. And no, it's not like perfect. It's not like you're seeing them like you're meeting them, but you're just it's better. I mean, it's closer. It's like, YouTubers are acting, but they're not acting on the level that a character acts. I mean, most of them. The vast majority of them. So it's like, yeah, some people have really nice personalities. Some people have interesting things to say. Some people are funny. You know? Um, like, I could see myself never watching YouTube ever again. I did go, no, not 3 months, 2 months once without using a computer. That was a cool experience. I put my computer inside of a pillowcase, and I put the pillowcase in my closet. My closet didn't have a door, but I just kept it in there. I also had those sheets. They were leopard sheets that I bought. I bought them in Portland. I didn't have a bed, but I had sheets. I slept in a sleeping bag and a mat. It's really nice to have the bag. Kind of miss that bag. I didn't lose it. It's back at my parents' house. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I'd wake up and get my lunch. I'd pack my lunch the day before. Get my lunch. I must have had a backpack. Yeah, I'd bring my backpack. And I'd catch the bus. I lived on the same street as my job. It was pretty cool, but it was like a major street, you know? It was like a big street, so... Does that make sense? Not the highway properly, but like the big street that went through town, and so I'd have to take the bus. It only took maybe 15-20 minutes. It stopped a lot. Then I'd get off and go clock in. Then do my job. And when I went home, it was a different... Wait, was it different when I went home? Oh, because I would take the train home. Why did I take the train home? Why did I take the train home but the bus there? Oh, because the bus route. I guess the bus route didn't go backward. It went in a circle or something? That's how buses work, right? Yeah. So I would take the train home, and on the way to the train, I'd walk through this big mall, because that was like the quickest way to get there, was to just go through the mall rather than have to go all the way around the mall. And I would go actually like down an escalator. I'd walk through the Macy's there, and then in the Macy's they had these sample perfumes, so I'd put this like, you know, men's cologne. I put on this like $400 Gucci cologne, and I just put some on my neck, and then I would go and I'd ride on the escalator, and then on the escalator you could look. There was like mirrors on the either side. It was like the escalator went through this passageway where it was just mirrors on both sides. I'd look in the mirror, and I was covered in oil and transmission fluid and just dirt and shit, and I'd smell like oil and cologne, and I would just look at my face, and I was not happy. But I made a lot of money at that job. Because I get overtime, and they hired me full time. And with no experience, there's like, good, no bad habits. I'm like, thanks, bro. Um, but then I would go home and, it was like I had Tuesdays off because I had originally been doing this internship, but then internship. Listen to me. They called it an internship. What it was I'd work for free for 4 hours, but also I was barely working at that job. I'd just sit in the back and restock herbs and drink tea and eat all their goji berries. um, like all of them. And but what was I gonna say? Oh, so I had Tuesdays off, but like I wouldn't, but then across 6 days working 40 hours, it was just one job. Working one job, you have so much fucking time. I mean, if you're not a student, it's like 40 hours is not that much of your week at all. So, when I would be off, usually I'd work in the morning. Yeah. I mean, there were some days I started at noon, I guess. I would basically just wake up, I think, according to when I had to work. I think that was how it worked. I don't quite remember, but I'd work at 8 a lot. Um, but if I worked at 8, and then if I worked for like... What were my shifts like? I'd work like 6 hours. Some days I only worked like 4 hours. But it was usually like 6 to 8 hours or something like that. I don't know. But I'd get off, and then I was working on this short story, so I'd write that. I'd just sit in my living room and write, and I'd play guitar in my room. And sometimes I'd take my guitar to the park and play outside. Like I did that like maybe 7 times or something. I don't know. Oh, and I had a few friends there, so I would like go to these shows sometimes at people's houses, and that was fun. It was nice. Yeah, it was pretty nice. You need a lot of money to live in America. That's the thing. You need a lot of money. Um, yeah. And yeah. Alright. Allahu Akbar. Are we gonna hit 30? I don't know. Blasphemous HD. Go watch Blasphemous HD. Um, yeah, watch Bill Wirtz. There's so many people that I forgot to shout out in that video, man. Like the obvious ones. Uh, watch Shoe. Shoe on Head and Shoe Nice should do a... Or did Shoe Nice die? I don't remember. They should do a collab if he didn't pass on. I feel like I heard that he passed away. Should look that up.